Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Daddy Furrier here, alone without my partner, which he usually sits in with me on some videos. But he's not here today. He went on a little birthday party trip with his mom, so it's just me and his sister at the house as of right now. So it's nice and quiet. The dogs are outside. No one's hollering. So anyways, me and my daughter went to the store today just to kind of look around and goof off. And when we were coming back, I was kind of thinking about whenever I first started kind of picking up action figures, which still, when I say that now, I'm like, that just seems so strange sometimes because I used to have other hobbies, which was comic books. I used to post a few comic book videos and stuff like that, stuff I'd pick up. Of course, I wasn't working then, so I had a lot more time. So I got bored, and that's what I did. I'd pick up comic books and do goofy, not even goofy, but just videos on pickup videos, I guess is what you'd call them. But anyways, when I started thinking, I was thinking about when I first started picking up figures as an adult, and I can't remember what year it was. It might have been around 2019, maybe 2018. And the first figures I picked up were Black Series Star Wars, because I've always been a big Star Wars fan ever since ever since I was a kid. So I'm 47 now. So just think back, I was born in 77. I saw Empire Strikes Back at the theater when it came out with my mom, and I don't really remember it that well. I remember going. The one thing I do remember is in the parking lot where we were at before you go into the theater. They had an R2D2 out rolling around. Of course, I was young. It might have. I really don't remember if it was. I don't think it was a remote control because that was uh, back in the 80s, I guess, something like that. Whatever year Empires came out in the theater, I don't remember. But anyways, I started thinking about Star Wars Black Series and how I started kind of picking up figures with that just because I just love Star Wars. And I was picking up anything I could pick up at the time that was always open and loose and cheap, like super cheap. I'm talking about like dollars. Um, Now, in this era here, you can get them even cheaper. Seems like a Star Wars is not what Star Wars used to be. A lot of the people that came up with Star Wars, like myself, that or we don't. Star Wars isn't what it used to be. They're having a lot of issues, obviously, and I think it's Star Wars has kind of burned itself out with the fans and stuff. And a lot of the kids nowadays just really, my kids, I've tried to get them to get into Star Wars and even watch the old movies, and it's just kids nowadays, it's short attention span, short videos, YouTube clips, Fortnite, Five Nights at Freddy's, stuff like that. It's changed, unfortunately. There are some fans that are younger people, but Star Wars brand isn't what it used to be. And that being said, with Star Wars not being what it used to be, the I kind of got out of Black Series. I still pick some up every now and then. I like the 6-inch vintage collection. I'm sitting here looking for my knife. I wasn't prepared because I got one figure I wanted to open. Um, but every the price of Star Wars Black Series and the vintage collection is just stupid. Like, I see them at Target, Walmart, and like that Wookiee figure from Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett or whichever one it was. I think it was almost $40 for one figure, and a lot of time with Black Series, all you get, especially with a Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker, any of the figures, it's usually that figure, the one lightsaber, or the figure and one gun. You never get extra hands or anything. I don't know if it's the price that they have to pay for Star Wars to be able to make the Star Wars characters, whatever Disney charges. There must be an arm and a leg for them because it's the same with Marvel Legends. Just way overpriced figures for what you're getting. That's why a lot of people like myself wait till they go on sale or find them what that somebody already bought and resold them and get them loose. Because I open about everything now. I don't keep hardly anything in the box. There's a few things, NECA wise, that I keep in the box, but Black Series is just, they're not doing anything any better or any different. The molds, like the re-releases, the hands are all the same, no extra hands. Just, let me see here. I got an Obi-Wan here just to give you an idea. Like, it just looks like when you're putting them on the shelf, you're like, why don't they give you some extra hands? Why do you have to have two of the open hand for the lightsaber? Pretty much for every figure always looks exactly the same. It's like they're using the same. You think if they're using the same mold for everything, just about, the prices wouldn't be as high as they are. Which, you know, they I seen some of the new Star Wars releases they have, re-releases. Looks like Darth Vader, and there was another one that I seen. I can't remember the name of them. Anyways, 24, same as the Marvel Legends. So the price is what it is, but some of those supposed deluxe figures that you get, they're teetering on $40. It's just really, really stupid. But I started thinking too, I was like, well, you know, I've got a few Darth Vaders of Legends figures, and I was kind of wanting to go through them. I was looking at them with my glasses, trying to look at them, and I was trying to pull up the serial numbers on them to see which year it was that one came out. There's not much of any changes. Like, we look at this, both the open grips. I love the cloth cape still, obviously. I'm not going to argue that. And Darth Vader always, I mean, he looks good. This is the first one I ever got, I'm pretty sure. And I think I got this off of eBay, off a guy that sold me that. I got this one and the Obi-Wan from A New Hope. So I think this was the carded figure one, because I know the Obi-Wan I got was too. No, I'm lying, I don't remember. Anyways, I did notice one thing about this Vader. His cape undergarment runs underneath his armor there. On this one, everything else looked the same. I put my glasses on and everything, and pretty much everything, it's the same exact mold. And here's this, I think this was the first one I got. This is the one I got off eBay. Yeah, because this one, it has, I don't know if this was a mistake, but it's on the outside and running underneath. I don't know how that happened, or if it's supposed to be that way. Like I said, I was trying to look on the line and pull up these serial numbers that are on their feet, which they were, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Nah, it's all blurry. They're all different, obviously. I was trying to type them in to pick it up, but I just lost my page. So I was like, who freaking cares? Anyways, so I know these were all different releases. Like I said, that's the only difference on that one that I could see. Boots, legs, everything else is pretty much exactly the same. I'm trying to look. Anyways, so I got this other one here. This is a New Hope. It's like the new release, the new boxes they come in. So let me get a knife here. I got one somewhere. I just literally had it. Oh yeah. I literally got it, and I sat it on the other side of the room there because I'm stupid. I don't think too much. Plus, what was happening, my confusion and losing my knife, I was trying to do a live video on YouTube. I've never done one before. And I don't have many followers on there because I don't really, I mean, I do care. It'd be cool to see them pop up on there, but I'm not one to talk about like, follow, share, blah, 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 and all that stupid shit. I just make the videos with my son now, and we post them so people see them. We do TikTok too, which is kind of neat because a lot of our family sees those, and they're usually like, we used to try to do 3 minutes and that's it and cut it off, and now we just set it for 10 minutes, and whatever time it goes, it goes. So anyways, the new Darth Vader, I wanted to see if there's any difference with this one. Oh, and look at that. I guess that's supposed to be the way it is. I don't know, because like I was saying with that one, the way his cape is on the outside, and it looks like pretty much everything is exactly the same again. That's what I think the problem with Black Series is. You're not giving us much for accessories, not even extra hands. And it always, if you collect figures and you put them on the shelf, whenever you see all of them and they all just have the weird other open hand like they're trying to hold something, it just, I don't know. To me, it gets on my nerves. I don't know if it does anybody else. There went his, what George Lucas called his laser sword. He tried to call it the laser sword, I think it was. His lightsaber. Let's see what it looks like. Pretty much exactly the same. I kind of really wish they would make these the actual saber part out of something a lot harder, like maybe a hard, well, I mean, it's pretty hard plastic, but like, I'm sure, I wonder if anybody made, it'd be cool if somebody made them out of like, made some that are like glass or something, or just something a lot harder that doesn't bend, because these, I hate, when I moved and I packed all my figures up, all my lightsabers, and like I said, I don't keep the boxes, but all my lightsabers were all like, so it's just annoying. It's not the end of the world, but all right, let's see. All right, I'm about to put my glasses on so I can see. I'm getting old, hitting about knocking on that 50. All right, let's take a look. This one I've had since probably 2019, and I mean, it's the exact same thing. This is the New Hope, just new release. I will say the eyes on the older one, you never notice from the first, especially in the first Star Wars, they almost kind of had that reddish tint to it, and these kind of have that. This one is kind of just smoky looking. So this one, he's a little dusty too. I need to dust my figures. I usually get I got an air can or whatever you call them for cleaning your keyboards. I'll usually put those, do a little blowing on the figures to get all the dust off, but I don't know. I think that's what really gets on my nerves with, but I don't know if it's the same. I think it's the same with everybody. It's just, come on, guys. You could give us a little bit more, like one extra hand or something. He's got that same hand poses. I mean, it's still a good looking figure. I love some Darth Vader action, but it would be nice to at least get some extra hands with Darth Vader. I wish they would do extra hands with all of them. Just at least the gripping hands and the two closed fists. So he feels really good though. You know how a lot of the time I notice, let's look at this. Okay, so his arms on this one is pinless and his legs are not. So let's stand this one up here. We'll see if we can get him to stand up there. We'll put this hand up here. See if you can see him a little better there. We'll come on down. See if I can tuck down there. Yeah. My dog's going crazy outside. All right, and like I said, the hands were, or the arms were pinless and the legs are not, and I've never noticed on any of the Star Wars figures. Yep, his arms are same on this one, and same on this one. So yeah, pretty much the same. They're all the same. So I don't know. The only reason I like picking up extra Darth Vader figures is because I like to have a few other little setups for like Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker from Empire, Darth Vader, Obi-Wan from New Hope, and then Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader standing together. Now I kind of almost need one more to do an old or younger Obi-Wan from the show, which the show was okay, I guess. I watched pretty much all of it. It wasn't that memorable, but the end of it was, man. See, I love the prequels though. A lot of other people, especially back in when they first came out, people were such, God, they cried and cried about how bad they were and stuff, and I always liked them. I will say that the first one, the Phantom Menace, it was a little slow going, but I mean, if you watch the first Star Wars: A New Hope, it's kind of a snoozer. It's still a good movie. Nostalgic, I guess, for it. I think for most people my age, Empire really helped Star Wars out a lot. But for the time, 1977 or 78 when it came out, that was pretty amazing. Um, I lost my train of thought there, what I was thinking about. Um, anyways, I guess that's kind of it. Oh, yeah, the prequels I was talking. I'm like, wow, whew, I drank too much last night or something, too many soda pops. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed the prequels. The Revenge of the Sith I really loved that movie. When it came out, I bought the soundtrack when I could get it. I entertained the thought of picking up figures back then, but I never did. I wasn't ever into figures back then. I was into figures when I was a kid and almost in my teens a little bit. But once all that stuff kind of, I don't know what happened to all my stuff back then, but you go through, once you get to be in your 20s and stuff, you're just wild, crazy, just trying to have fun, which that's what we do. And then in your 30s, I was still picking up comic books and video game stuff back then, and never into figures. So anyways, I kind of just went nowhere with that. But yeah, I've always been a guy that stood up for the prequels. Anakin in those, people talk about Hayden Christensen. I can't ever say his name right. His acting in it, but I'm like, well, I mean, people made fun of Luke's or Mark Hamill's acting, especially when he lost his hand and Vader was telling him he was father. He's like, "That's impossible," and people always kind of made fun of that back in the day. So I gotta say, I think I really like the people have come around though to the prequels. I think even haters and stuff, and you still see YouTube guys on there, which I have nothing against anybody that doesn't like them, and that's their thing. But it just gets old after a while. Okay, well, it wasn't that good. Attack of the Clones was a little boring, but I still like that movie because I love Dooku. I love that character in the movies, and so he played a big part in that one. And that's just my opinion, though. I guess if you didn't like them, you didn't. I will say that Attack of the Clones it wasn't as memorable, but I still liked watching it. And Revenge of the Sith was just awesome. I love that movie. That last fight scene with Obi-Wan and Anakin is just, I mean, that's probably the best the best fight scene that I can think of. Yeah, you know, that one, and of course Luke and Vader and well, was it Return? Well, I guess that one Return was a pretty good. That was a big upgrade compared to the fight scene from A New Hope between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. That was just going back and watching that. That was like a slow fencing dance. So, uh, I think Star Wars is it's kind of like the old westerns. You know, it's might be a thing of the past now. You know, and it's kind of good for some of us though if you want to go back and get some figures, because boy, they are not as high as they used to be. Not the Black Series. Now, if you go back into vintage and stuff like that, yeah, it's a little higher dollar, but I can't bring myself to get back into picking up any vintage, like actual original figures, just because of the age and the price of a lot of that stuff. Um, and if you notice, like some of them older figures, like I noticed with like Masters of the Universe, I almost picked up a Triclops just to have a Triclops with my Origin stuff. But man, that plastic gets so gummy. So anyways, I think I rambled on long enough. Point of this whole video was just to kind of look at a Black Series figure, Darth Vader especially, because we had this new one they just re-released again. It's obviously a re-release. I don't know how many times they've done this. There's not a whole lot of different you can do. That's not really my complaint, because he looks good. It's just, come on, give us some more hands. And like with all the figures, it's just the same. So anyways, that's all. I don't know what you guys think about it. And if you don't have a Darth Vader figure, this one you should pick up. But if you're like me, you need extra Darth Vaders, this is a good one to pick up. So anyways, that's all. You guys have a good one, and see you again.